days, you notice that even after 2 days the legs are still swollen, you should go and see your doctor urgently. Urgently. I really don't know how to apologize right now, because I know I promised this video last week and this is almost a new week again, and still I'm so sorry. I really sincerely apologize that I lingered to this time. So I want to talk about edema. Edema is that swelling you have on your feet. I know many of us have experienced edema. I have experienced edema, so you don't want to miss any part of this video. Hello, my name is Patrick. Welcome to my channel, and in my channel I share things regarding health, questions puzzling your mind about health, and I give you answers that you can relate with. So I want you to stay to the end of this video, because I'm also going to talk about why pregnant women have edema. Edema could be a pathological or a physiological condition, in the sense that it could be something that you should be worried about, and also it could be something that you don't even think about it will go on its own. But when you talk about this physiological edema, it's something that most people experience randomly, even people that are healthy. So what could be the cause? Number one factor, which everybody knows, is sitting in a place for so long. When you are someone that is prone to a sedentary kind of lifestyle, you don't take walks, you attend to clients, you attend to patients. Like me, sometimes when I'm attending to patients, I can collect their blood samples for as long as, let's say, 3 hours stretch. I'm sitting down. That is not a good lifestyle, and if you are someone like that, you will frequently experience edema. Your legs will swell frequently. So how do you avoid that? Take intermittent walks. Stand up, get up from your seat, take walks, walk around, take enough water, so when you are sitting down you feel pressed and you want to go and ease yourself. What happens when you're sitting down? So when you're sitting down, your body works by gravity. It pulls down fluid from up down to the interstitial spaces in your feet, and thereby causing a retention of fluid. That moment you now realize that your legs are swollen or your feet are swollen. So take walks. Number 2, your diet. Your diet contains sodium. So most of the food we eat, like Pringles, small chops, the food we cook at home contains salt, and in that salt there is an element called sodium. So sometimes when sodium is in excess, your body finds it difficult to be able to absorb the sodium into the cells, and because your body can't absorb that sodium, it is now retained in your feet, in the interstitial spaces in your feet, and in that process your leg swells to respond to that stimuli. So what do you do when you experience that you are taking more sodium, your legs are swelling? Take more water. What water does is that it works by dilution mechanism. So when you take enough water, it dilutes the amount of sodium present in your interstitial spaces. So when you talk about salt is wide, but I'm just narrowing it down to sodium. So maybe you get snacks, you get a snack or something, and you are looking at the nutritional benefit or the nutritional value behind it, and you see the sodium levels, and you know you're someone that is prone to having edema. You should run from it, because it's not good for you. It's going to affect the way your body responds to absorbing sodium. So also number 3, pathological conditions. So when you have an underlying sickness, when you have an underlying disease, that could lead to your leg swelling. For instance, we have different types of edema. One of them is the pulmonary edema, when your lungs begin to swell due to accumulation of fluid in your alveoli. Lungs begin to swell and you begin to have puffy face, you begin to have puffy body, all your body generally becomes swollen. So that is a pathological condition. And also when you have a cerebral edema is the edema of the brain. That is deadly. And also when you have edema of the face, the eyes, the macula is now affected. That macula is an area that helps you for central and detailed vision. So when that area of the eyes is now affected and fluids begin to accumulate in the macula. The person begins to see less, the vision becomes blurry, the face becomes puffy and swollen. Those are actually pathological conditions. So these are the three main factors that are responsible for causing an edema. So how will you now know if you are having a pathological edema or a physiological edema? Obviously, the edema I'm talking about today is the pedal edema, which is the edema of your feet. It's a peripheral edema. So when you talk about this edema, the only way you can know you have an edema is when you begin to see your legs swelling. Though there are other symptoms, but one of the basic ways is to see your legs swelling. So how can I now know that it's a pathological or it's just a physiological edema? Probably because I had a high salt diet, I wasn't taking intermittent walk, or maybe I was even walking too much and all the gravity had pulled down the sodium down to my legs or the fluid down to my legs. How can I know that it's time to go and see my doctor? Is when the swelling does not deflate or does not go down in not more than 48 hours. You notice that even after 2 days, the legs are still swollen. You should go and see your doctor urgently. Because the moment you allow that to linger for long, it could lead to worse cases, and you do not want that. Okay, go and see the doctor as soon as you notice that you are having that swelling for more than 48 hours and you are experiencing severe pains for more than 48 hours. One other way you can know you have an edema is that your skin on your feet begins to shine unlike the normal way it shines. Know that you need to take care of yourself. When we talk about pregnant women, sometimes these two factors could also be a causative factor for them. But pregnant women, the uterus adds more pressure to the lower abdominal cavity, and in that case it prevents fluid to come from down back to the normal general circulation. Though in pregnancy, swelling of the feet is not something that should be of a concern about, but when you now begin to experience that your face is swollen, your hand is swollen, every part of your body is swollen, that should be a major source of concern. That could be pre-eclampsia. And when you're now having pre-eclampsia, you notice that your body has more salt than regular, and pregnant women should be advised that they should reduce their salt intake, change your diet, and also take intermittent walks. Don't stand for too long. Pregnant women shouldn't stand for too long because, first of all, the uterus is already applying pressure on the lower abdominal cavity. Some hormones like the adrenal, the cortisol are already acting up in play and doing their function. So when she now begins to stand for too long, gravity also begins to act and more retention of fluid begins to occur. And you know that sodium absorbs water. So when you take in more sodium, you begin to get extremely dehydrated and your legs begin to swell. So you only have to take water to dilute that sodium, except the pathological case where they will either give you a medication to be able to pass out urine, or if you're not passing out enough urine, they'll give you a diuretic drug to pass out urine, to be able to urinate frequently. So in general, how to curb an edema, pregnant or not pregnant, is to avoid salt diet. Avoid staying in a position for too long. Avoid walking for too long. Avoid standing for too long. Walk around, sit, stand, and when you notice that the edema is not going away within 48 hours, it should be something you should go and see your doctor about. So finally, I did the video. So I'll see you in my next video. And if you have any questions to ask, please do leave it in the comment section. Remember, my name is Patrick. I am readily available to answer your questions.